we look at the state of the world today. We look at the ice caps, possibly melting and threatening our cities. I'm going to start this interview by asking, what drives you to, really continue with your participation in Extreme E, and, the environmental factors that really inspire you to push on with this series?
I think the most important message I would like to say, when I start this project, obviously I was probably much more focused on the driving side. I was obviously focused on the team. I was focused on put the whole thing together, and slowly, by listening the right people, by listening the message that the championship wanted to send. To be honest, I really become more and more interested, obviously, in what is our concern regarding the planet, the warming, the carbon zero, all the things that we are fighting for, and the championship is fighting for. When you listen to the right people, the message they try to send, and why, and all these kind of things, really opens to you a thing that probably you have not been thinking so much in the past, or that was my case. I become really interested in all these situations, all these problems we are facing, and this is a fact, So I'm worried about the championship, but I'm worried also about the planet.
For those people around the world who did not experience the heat wave that Europe suffered actually in the last 2 weeks, are you able to maybe just explain what that was like, and why it is absolutely abnormal even at this time of year?
Well, I can only say that here in Spain we have been suffering really, really high temperatures. Honestly and frankly talking, it's I have been coming here many years, for example, during this period of the year, during August period, and especially, it's very strange, very rare to find such a high temperatures during this period of the year in the area where I am, and I have been coming here 50 years, and the heat we have last 3-4 days, not yesterday, but the 3 days before, it was really extreme. I mean, over 40 degrees, not here, but in the rest of Spain, here touching nearly 40, 38, 39. It was really very rare, and I cannot remember really to be in this period of the year with this temperature. Now, obviously, it has, at least in Spain, has not been a terrible year regarding the rain. We have, let's say, recovered a little bit from really a very, very stressful year last year and the previous one. So that has been a little bit better this year, but the temperatures we are facing this summer are really high, of course.
Yeah, it looked awful on the news, I have to say. And it leads me to ask, when you experience these conditions, as a family, does it make you think twice about the decisions you make, maybe the use of plastic at home, or, the kind of vehicles you may look at in the future?
I think when you are involved in such a championship like we are involved now, the message is coming, and it's coming to us, and when it's coming to you, it's coming to the family, it's coming to everybody. At the end of the day, you are not going to turn the whole world around, but by small things, by small individual small steps, I think we can do quite a good. We can move and we can do things that will help.
Should we talk about racing? And the action that we're expecting to see, not this weekend, the one after, when you take on the Arctic X Prix. Just having a look at the championship and the standings, obviously you've got the Rosberg team and Hamilton team are up there, but really would like to know if you can communicate to fans out there what your expectations are for the rest of the season, how you see the remaining rounds for your Acciona's team.
Of course, Laia and myself, we are hoping to have at least a clean run, not like last time where we have to retire from one of the qualification runs. That obviously how was the rules at that time, because this has been changed, basically send us to the back of the field for the whole weekend. So we are hoping to have at least a clean run. I think we were reasonable fast the last event, but due to that problem in one of the runs, in the qualification runs, we lost all our options. So of course we are hoping to give a good show. First of all, to collect good points, to improve. I think Laia and myself, we are trying the best we can. Of course, the field is very strong. We have great champions. We have really strong drivers, woman and man. So yeah, we will see. First of all, we need to go there. We need to see how's the track, what are we facing, what are the problems, what type of terrain are we going to race, and let's hope to have a good run.
Fingers crossed. I was meaning to ask you this one actually, and it reminded me, if you look at, professional racing drivers, how the profession of motorsport has changed. And, many athletes, like, for example, your son Carlos in F1, training like a real athlete as well on the physical side. Are you able to just tell fans a bit more about how you prepare physically for racing in Extreme E?
Well, as you know, I'm not only doing Extreme E, I'm also doing the Dakar. Obviously, when you are reaching nearly 60 years like myself, you need to work hard to arrive in a good level and to stay in a reasonable level of your fitness, because if not, to fight with youngsters is really difficult already, but even more difficult. So this is an area where I try always to be fit. I try always to be in a good shape and to try to keep the best possible during the year. And this is something that you have to work more specific when you are reaching certain age, working in different areas and really, working with a good method, with somebody who really understands what is required, as I say, when you are becoming more veteran. And this is what I'm doing to try to keep as fit as possible, basically.
Lovely. Thanks for answering that one. I'm a big fan of your son Carlos in the Ferrari this year and what he's been up to so far. Can we please get some words from you on your feeling about how his season's gone so far? Because if you look at the results and the stats, it's looked like he's had a very, very strong start to the season.
Well, always when you are changing teams, it's not easy. When you are changing teams, and especially you are having only 1.5 days to adapt to a new car, is really difficult. I think he must, and I think he is quite happy about how the start of the season has been developing. I think, personally, this is more my case. I think he must be proud. I think he's doing a good job. Obviously, I think the second half of the year must be a continuation or even better of what he has been achieving, because he knows a little bit better the team. He knows a little bit better the car, what he needs, what he wants. Every car is different. You need certain period to know, to extract the maximum of the car, and I'm sure every race he has been learning, but in general, I think he's doing a really good job, and I think he's happy there in Ferrari, and it's a big team, and I think he's what I hear from him, he's happy.
And one final question, if I may, just before I let you go off and enjoy the rest of your holidays. And just talking of Carlos Jr. and yourself, and the character traits between father and son. We saw some really strong leadership qualities from Carlos Jr. during the Hungarian Grand Prix, when he was dictating the pit strategy. Are you able to share a bit with fans about how you can see his leadership developing and growing as he's kind of gone through his career?
There are certain drivers that develop earlier, certain drivers develop a little bit later. It depends on the personality of each one. So what I can see from Carlos, obviously, I have a lot of trust on him since he was very young, because I was close to when he was first time in a small car, first time doing go-karting, how develop and all that. But what I can see from him is that he's still improving. He's still getting better. He still has not reached his peak, and this is very obvious for me. And it's depending how is your learning curve, how mature, and I think he's getting more and more mature. He's still young, but he's still getting and learning things and improving, which is the most important thing when you are a sportsman. So from my side, I think if I have to mention something, is that he keeps improving year after year, and I think he will be able to give us good times, good surprises.
I wish you all the best as well in the next race up there in the Arctic. It's not this weekend after, right? So we've still got another sort of 10 days, maybe less, to maybe just enjoy some summer holidays.
Yeah, thank you so much. Let's see what is happening there. And, anytime I'm happy to talk again with you. And let's see how it's developing the season there in Extreme.
Maybe next time we do some in Spanish. I practice my Spanish with you and you can...
Absolutely. Any language. We can start at least in Spanish and maybe change to English if you want.
Okay, perfecto.
Adios.
Adios, amigo.
Adios.
In Italian, buon fortunato.
Buena continuación.
That's the one.